Hey guys, what's going on? It's Chillcast. Thank you for watching part 100. A couple days ago, we were on part 101. Apparently, we're getting very close to the end, and we're going to see Emi's father, which I thought he was dead, but hey, if we're going to see him, can't be dead. I wonder what he looks like. I wonder if he's a cross between Emi's mother and Matao, because Matao's very stoic. We're going to see my dad today! Yeah! Alright, happy family is happy. Go get him. Look, she's so happy. I wonder why she doesn't live with her father. The words hang in the air, and I can see that Emi's afraid that I'll panic and disappear in response, which part of me almost wants to do. But it'd be stupid for me to back out now and suddenly abandon the promise I made to there. You know, I'll be there for you, Emi. I made that promise, and, well, I'm not an Indian giver, and I'm not a promise breaker. I'm a promise maker. The unfucker, Chillcast. And I just thought it was so weird for her to bring me along. She doesn't bring anyone along. At least I'm willing to bet that she hasn't before today. Today seems to take on even greater significance, which has taken Emi to get even this far. And why is it the best I can imagine the response? Yeah. I don't know what I should say. Nothing, I think. Just promise you're gonna come with me. Of course, you know I will. I always come. Emi smiles, wanly, looking a little relieved. Good. In that case, we better get going. I can't do her voice, motherfucker. I don't know what just happened. I've lost all female voices, which may be a good thing. Maybe I'm becoming a man. Blah, blah, blah. The bus pulls up just a little after she finishes the sentence. Vague memories of my first trip out here come to mind as I step off in the bus, but unfortunately, they're too vague to be of any use. Remember we went out here with Hanako and Lily? We went shopping. We spent so much time out here. We bought that doll. It was good times. I'll be the first to admit that I don't quite recall how I got to Emi's house, so I'll let her lead the way. Oh yeah, through the back alleys. Good thing we are letting her lead the way. She seems content to walk in silence, and I myself have no idea what I could possibly say, so two of us arrive at her house saying nothing since getting off the bus. Emi's mother opens the door and doesn't seem surprised to see me standing next to her daughter. I expect that Emi would have phoned Led to let her mother know of the change of plans. But then again, you know what? Every single porn scene that I've ever witnessed, and that's like nothing. Because, you know, it's just weird. You always hear like, oh man, it's the delivery boy. Oh god, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna be delivering me to heaven and sex? Oh, the cable guy. Is he gonna fix my cable? Is he gonna check my pipes, the plumber? You know, it's like those weird things, so I don't need to be phoned ahead. I can just knock on the door. Plus, I find her more attractive than Emi. What do you want me to say? I'm into older women. That's how I roll. Emi? Hisao? You're just in time. Lunch is just about ready. Yeah, the accent. Don't worry about it. Great! I was afraid we'd be running late. I think I have a voice back. Yeah! I'm just trying to imagine someone with a scrunched up nose that's working. Hey, as fast as you were going this morning, I doubt there was much of a chance of that. I certainly hope she wasn't too much of a bother, Hisao. She tends to get a little paranoid about being on time when food's involved. I hadn't noticed. I love her too much. This earns me a swat on the arm of Emi, who, despite the serious nature of our conversation on the bus and almost brooding quiet walk, has been, you know, quite cheerful again. Probably to keep her mother from worrying about whatever it is. Emi plans to tell me later. Oh god. Miss Aberlaz ushers us in, and in short order we're around the table devouring lunch. I didn't realize how hungry I was until I got there, but for some reason I seem to be eating almost as much as Emi. Goodness, it's a good thing I made so much. The two of you are acting like you haven't eaten in days. Well, I really don't. They serve like jail food. I skipped breakfast this morning. You know, I had to be on time. Me too. Had to catch the bus, I assume. That, and I figured you make too much food, so it wouldn't matter if I skipped breakfast. Well, it's good to know that I'm predictable. Emi nods enthusiastically, and the conversation falls off again as we very nearly clear the table of anything edible. It's a testament to the sheer amount of food and offer that we didn't finish everything. Well, you know what? It's good manners not to finish everything, because then you'd be like, well, I would like to take the pasta home for leftovers for dinner, and, well, you can take that home, and no one really likes the squash, so you can throw that out. So it's just, you know, it's proper etiquette. You know, leftovers allow for different things to be devoured later on. And seriously, who doesn't love fucking cold pasta? I mean, seriously, I won't eat all my pasta at dinner just so I can have some leftover and cold. It's the only way. It's the only way you can have it. Cold pasta is amazing. When it sticks together, you get the sauce. Oh my god, you have like 8 pieces of pasta in one gulp. Pasta. Oh, that was quick. I lean back in my chair with a sigh. Thank Miss Abarazaki for the food. Hey, I'm glad you liked it, Hisao. Now, has Emi told you where we're going? You're going over to her father's house. Are you dropping us off there, or are you just gonna, whatchamacallit, you coming in as well? I mean, that'd be awkward. I'm assuming you guys are divorced. That would be kind of awkward, I guess. Unless they get, like, maybe they're friends. Then again, I don't know. I don't know of any divorced people who are friends and happy. They're usually fucking bitter and hate each other. I know from my own personal experience, they fucking hate each other's guts. So maybe that's what they have. Maybe they have a good relationship. Which, hey, more kudos to them. Because, you know, honestly, I can't say no to Miss Abarazaki. She's kind of attractive. So if I was to divorce her, I probably fucked up. Not really, but we'll drive there to save time. It's close is kind of What do you mean close is kind of early? I nod in the sentence, steady, stand up, ready to go. What do you mean? Does her father work somewhere? What? I don't get this. Why does it close early? Well then, shall we? Miss Abarazaki nods and leaves the room to grab her keys. Emmy and I notice the star to fidget nervously. Second thoughts? Emmy smiles tightly at me and shrugs. She's fallen silent again, which probably means that I'm right. She's trying to regret bringing me along. Not that I blame her. She's done such a good job of shutting me out that I doubt these to suddenly open up. Honestly, I'm worried that she's forcing it. Well, bro, I'm there for you, man. If your father doesn't like me, well then, whatever. I'll just smile and be like, sir, I'm dating your daughter. What? Come at me, bro. No, I wouldn't do that. I'd be like, sir, I want to take your daughter's hand in a courtship and hopefully leads to a long-lasting friendship and, you know, family. And that's how you do it. But she said while waiting for the bus that I'm not supposed to give her a chance to back out. Since I promised to go with her anyway, I suppose there's not much of a choice. I can't go back on my promise, and she can't go back on hers. We're essentially tied together by this bond. I just hope the both of us are up to it. We're off! Do you seem really excited to see your ex-husband? That's cool. Emmy's mother blows through the dining room, collects the two of us, and heads out the door at a brisk pace. Now I know where her daughter gets it from. I don't get... Oh, fuck me. Well, that just kind of put a damper on the mood. See, I really thought the father was still alive. I didn't realize she was taking me to a cemetery. That's kind of, I don't even know what that is. It's kind of sad, if anything. A little messed up, a little sad. I really thought... Oh boy. The car pulls up at the cemetery gates and I feel Emmy tense up beside me. I reach over and give her a hand of comforting. Apparently fucking Hisao knew. Why didn't you fucking tell me, man? I thought we were going to see him at his house. Which causes her to relax a little. Emmy's mother doesn't follow us, explaining that she prefers to visit the grave alone. Emmy steps through the gates and looks back, as if to make sure I'm still there. We step into the cemetery. I don't feel comfortable in cemeteries. Gravestones littered the ground, each one serving as a reminder that someone used to be alive is no longer. One of the solace you could take in a cemetery is that it's, you know, that's kind of the circle of life. You know, someone dies, someone else is born, and the circle goes on. And hopefully you remember the memories with the person, and you bear new memories with the other person. And the life in the circle goes on. Because if you hark on it, then your life stops and that their life did, and that's not good. And they don't want that, and you don't want that. It's rough, man. How many died young? How many were as old as I am now? When do I wind up with a marker of my own? How much longer do I have left? Well, you better fucking run so you don't have that short of a time left. Alright? This should be dedication to running. Concept of not waking up, not seeing Emmy anymore, it's not a happy one. It frightens me, and I very nearly turn around and exit right around there. I don't want to go among dead people. I don't want to see their stones and think about who they were, or what they could have been if they only had more time. Then I look at the girl next to me, and my resolve returns. Emmy striding purposefully down the path, eyes clear, setting a pace that's very nearly a jog. Soon we get there, and I suspect she thinks it's better. We're here. I can't even read it, so I guess that makes me feel a little better. A gravestone wholly unremarkable is everything except for the name etched upon it. Grass is growing up around the base. Emmy's eyes are riveted to the stone. After a few moments, she turns around to me, looking surprisingly calm yet solemn. Pink's not actually my favorite color, you know. What? I don't even remember that. I'm warming up to it. Yes, your hair is kind of orangey, beige-ish. Not really pink. I wasn't... What are we talking about? People tend to think that pink's my favorite color. I think it's because I like strawberries. Even though those are red, they just assume that pink's the right color for strawberries. And that's my favorite color. But it's not. I'm too polite to tell anyone otherwise, of course, and that's the kind of worth getting worried about. But I'll bet even though you thought but I'm not even speaking English because my mind is like in fucking 3 different places because I'm still shocked the father's actually dead. Blue, that's my favorite color. My mom and dad are the only two who know that. And now you do too. Thanks for telling me. I think, yeah, of course you're thanking her for telling. Don't say I think. You appreciate knowing more about her. You're welcome. There's a pause as he considers what to say next, drawing a quick breath. I I can't carry a tune to save my life. I can hum, but actually singing a song is something I've never been able to do. I don't mind because I'm not a fan of karaoke anyway. But that's one potential date idea out the window. Huh? People all think that I'm really popular and a friendly person, but I only have a few close friends. Probably because I keep everyone in the dark. But I think it's also because I hate the idea of losing a close friend. There aren't many people worth the risk. I'm terrible at saying goodbye. I sometimes think that I only run because it's what I used to do with my father. You're not my first boyfriend. I dated a guy for a long while during my second year at Yamaku, but in the end we broke up because I didn't want to get any closer to him. He couldn't live with that distance between us. This song feels really familiar. Her rate of speaking increases slightly, as if she's rushing towards the finish line. I'm actually 1 year older than you. Everybody thinks I'm younger because I'm short, but I skipped one school year because of my accident. They initially thought I was paralyzed when they pulled me out of their wreckage. I lost my legs already, but they were afraid that I wouldn't even be able to use what I was left of them. After surgery, it was clear that the initial assessment was mistaken. I couldn't feel my legs because of shock. Short-term paralysis due to other trauma that I experienced. My recovery was one of the fastest they'd ever seen, though, or so they told me. I never found out if they were serious about that, or if they told all the patients learning to walk again. She pauses, gathering herself for one last effort. I can't take all the emotion! Can't we just fucking smile, please? Just once? Just put on that stupid smile and maybe some happy music. 8 years ago today, I lost my legs, and I lost my father as well. He died on the way to the hospital. I didn't even get to go to the gravesite until 2 months later and couldn't attend his funeral. I'm so sorry. Don't be. That's what everyone says, that they're sorry, and I hate hearing that. Like anyone could have done anything to change what happened. You know the best piece of advice I got? That these things happen. I don't even remember who said it, but I guess they didn't have anything better to say. Well, that's what I like that saying. I know we talked about it like literally 40 parts ago and we got into a whole debacle of a religion about the stupid sayings of everything happens for a reason, and you know, it's something's way. But I like the idea that shit happens, and that not because it's a reason or because it's supposed to, but just it happens, that these things happen. That's a statement I can agree with, Emmy. That because shit does happen, and it's not for a reason or anything else. Yeah, there may be an actual physical reason to why it happened. Okay, we crashed and exploded in the car because the car brakes died, and like the brakes were just no good. That's a physical reason, but there's no higher power reason to that. It just fucking happened, and these things happen. That's how I feel, at least. But it's true, you know. These things happen, and there's nothing you could do about it. They aren't necessarily planned, and they aren't always bad, and they aren't always good, but they are. So I made a decision I would live without worrying about the future, and to be sure that I never had to say goodbye again. I decided I wouldn't let people get close to me anymore. After all, they could be taken away at any time, and you know what? She laughs a little bitterly. Her eyes start to well up with tears. I step forward to embrace her, but she holds up a hand to stop me. Finish. Deep breath, and she continues. It worked pretty well, until I met you and saw that you were talking to adjust to stuff. You were trying to adjust, so I thought I'd help. And then you were so nice, and I couldn't help it, I just... My God. The tears are flowing now, and she accepts the embrace this time. The rest of her sentence is mumbled into my chest. I tried not to fall for you, but I did. And I tried to keep you at a distance like with my first boyfriend, but I couldn't. But I've been so scared because I don't want to lose you, and I might... Hey. I'm still here. Right? And maybe I won't be forever, but don't you think it'll be for fun while it lasts? Neither of us could survive a day. There could be a bus crash or something. That's really fucking... not good timing. But so long as I know that I've been with you, I don't think it really matters. A sudden thought strikes me, and I can't help laughing. My condition had me scared of dying so badly that I immediately seized the opportunity Emmy presented to improve my odds of living longer. But without Emmy, would there have been any motivation to keep up with my running? It hits me that Emmy is the reason I want to go running every day, so I can spend as much time with her as possible. Emmy looks up at me, confused. Hey, we'll go on living until we stop, and when we stop living, we'll be able to know that at least we had some time together. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Because I love you, Emmy. And right now, that's enough for me, Emmy. Emmy smiles through her tears and steps back from me. You know, it's funny. Wait, what's funny? Because really, this whole place is really fucking creepy and we're spilling out our emotions, but if you have something comical, please tell me. I thought the best way to live in the moment was to do it alone. But now I don't think I have it any other way. I'm glad I met you, Hisao. Hey, like you say, these things happen. Emmy and I stay by the grave for a while as Emmy pays her respects to her father. When she's ready to go, we exit the graveyard side by side. Emmy's mother drives us back to Yamaku. The trip is very quiet. We wave at a guy and I have to cough. I'm okay. And I glance down at the girl leaning on my arm. Hey, how are you feeling? Emi shrugs noncommittally. I'll be fine. Come on, let's go. She's too, it's, I don't know. Her voice is normally peppy and happy. It's hard to do that peppy. I feel like I got a fucking frog in my throat. We pause outside the girls' dorm, and I turn to face Emi, and it looks like Rin's artwork is getting better and better every day. To say goodbye. Why don't you come up for a while? No, okay. All right. I walk up to her room in silence. I'm not sure why I'm supposed to be. I turned away at the door. I guess I just assumed she wanted to be alone. Her mom, the nurse, hell. Everyone knew the significance of today. Seemed to think it's best to leave Emi alone. But she took me into the graveyard with her. She told me the whole story of what happened on the day she lost her legs. She wanted me around. The significance of this does not escape me. Emi opens the door and steps into her room, not even bothering to invite me in, holding the door for me expectantly. I step in and the door swings shut behind me. Hey, can I ask you a favor? Sure, I can't guarantee I'll do it, but... Emi giggles and pulls me into a kiss that starts out soft, but deepens into something almost desperate. Stay with me, please? Her voice is dropped in a whisper. The question's barely audible over the sound of my own breathing. There's something about the way that she asks the question, the hesitancy in it, the quiet voice. It makes me think she doesn't mean tonight. No, she means exactly what she said. Stay with me. Not tonight, or forever, because both of us know there's no such thing as forever. There's no time limit to her request. There's just a request. The favor. Can I do that? Can I stay with her? Of course I can. I'm Hisao Nakai. Man of action. Scientist. We embrace again, Emi guided me towards her bed, stepping backwards with care until she sits down on the edge. Fuck, we were getting all sentimental. Now I have to censor. She's gotten my shirt off by this point, and I've similarly lifted hers over her head. Bra and all. Her shorts come off just as quickly. With practiced ease, she removes her legs and pulls me to the side of the bed with her hand, my hand coming around her smooth shoulder. I cast my gaze over her face, down her neck, following the line to the swell of her breast before I lower my head, planting kisses across her chest, listening to her breath hitch as her sides further and further down my chest. As I work my way up back to her neck, I can feel her hands working at my belt, now fumbling slightly with the buckle, now unbuttoning, now unzipping, until my pants fall to the floor. Her panties are noticeably darkened in this right place, showing that my earlier illustrations have produced some results. I step back quickly and shuck my boxers and move back as Emi reaches over into a drawer on the nightstand, moving a small foil package. Oh, Jesus, what the hell is this? She tears it open with a quick jerk of her teeth and reaches down to apply the protection, which as always causes me to gasp a little. Her expression suddenly changes as she takes view of me and... Wait a second, are you still in your socks? I pause and look down. Apparently I am. I mean, I'm wearing socks during happy times. It's a sexy time. I'm wearing the socks. Yeah. Does that matter? Take them off. It's weird if you still have them on. You know, you still got your socks on too. Yes, but I don't have my legs on, so it doesn't count. Able to deny her logic and patient to have the conversation over anyway, I quickly remove the offending items. I'm so eager to get back at Emi that I practically jump on top of her, pushing her down playfully. My God. My God. Well, this is weird. There's a bunny rabbit up there. Emi's giggling and squirming quickly ends, replaced by a happy sigh as I enter her. Breathing deeply as she savors the feeling, she spreads her arms and grabs the sheets. Her breath is in my ear as I begin moving, whispering words of encouragement, nipping at my neck, now at my mouth. Words of encouragement? What do you mean words of encouragement? You are really good looking, and I think you're doing a great job. Keep it up. Is that words of encouragement? My hips hit the edge of the mattress, shaking the bed. Part of my brain briefly wonders if I should try to be quieter before succumbing to the waves of pleasure racing up my spine. Emi's stomach tenses as she grows closer to the edge, and as our bodies both begin to glisten with sweat, time begins to become hazy. The sound of my own breathing mingles with Emi's pants, and I ready myself for a final surge before surrendering to the rushing wave of climax. Emi's body shudders and she cries out, "Ah!" Her fingers digging into my back as soon as I too lose control of myself. My back arches as I let myself go, feeling my body spasm as I orgasm. My God. I collapse next to Emi, who almost immediately curls against me, smiling. Mentally, I feel grateful that Emi keeps her nails short. Otherwise, I think she might have drawn blood. So essentially, she's a wolf. Sheep in wolf's clothing. You think she's adorable and cute until she fucking just rips off your back. I sit up briefly to dispose of the now-used condom and lay back down next to Emi, who's in turn taking care of cleaning herself off. For a while, we lay in silence, savoring the feeling of being next to one another. Emi's the first to speak. Hey, Hisao. I'm really busy over here. Thanks for coming with me today. I smile, and I plant a kiss on her head. Of course. My pleasure. Emi snuggles closer, and I can feel her breathing begin to slacken as she begins to drift off into sleep. Just as she's about to fall asleep, she wakes up enough to mutter a single sentence. I love you, Hisao. Then she's out like a lion, leaving me feeling like I'm on top of the world. Or on top of the world's fastest thing on no legs. I draw the slumbering Emmy as close as possible, pull the covers up over us to keep the chill off, and fall asleep as happy as I've ever been. Ah. Katawa Shoujo, do do do. Katawa Shoujo, do do do. Sorry, sometimes I just turn into a rock anthem. The glowing light seems to reach further into Emmy's room than it does into mine. This results in me waking up earlier than I would have if I had gone back to my room last night, as I had previously been on our routine. You thought you were going back to your room last night? No, you went to the graveyard. That is indeed need for, like, I need you sex. Not even like I need you, but like that's not, I wouldn't say what kind of sex. That'd be like, you deserve it sex. I don't know. I did not realize it until this morning, but the first time we've actually spent a night together. A small movement from my partner's still slumbering form causes me to look into the side. Hair splayed across her face, Emmy continues to sleep peacefully and curled up next to me. It's slightly weird seeing her without her tread-marked twin tails, but it's also a look I could get used to. The small size of the beds her necessitates her curling up, but I'm pretty sure she would have done so anyway. The covers are nearly over her head, and I smile as the errant stand of her hair causes her nose to kind of twitch slightly. Oh, it's so cute. Unable to help myself, I draw her a little closer, a move which she seems to think is a good idea. Her steady breathing raises a trail of goosebumps on my chest, but I don't mind. I'm no longer tired, but I do not feel a need to move from my current position. Emmy's warm body and reposing its mind is far too comfortable to move. I gaze up at the ceiling and consider how we've gotten to this point. We've been close for a while, but not this close. How close you got to this point? You just had sex, that's why you're at this point. It seems like only yesterday she ran to me in the hallway and after apologizing decided to take an interest in my well-being. But that grew into something else, which at least I was not expecting. One thing is for certain, having found Emmy, I'll try as hard as I can not to lose her. My morning musing is interrupted by further movement from Emmy. Her eyes flutter open and she seems briefly confused by my presence in her bed as well as her current state of dress, which is non-existent. Means she's in her birthday suit, apparently. Then she smiles happily and sits up. She kind of looks like an elf. The fuck? Her face looking down at me. Good morning, Hisao. Hi, you sleep well and naked? Why is there lotion on the desk? Hisao, is this your room? You dirty bastard, you. It's the weirdest alarm clock ever. Why does it have antennas? This makes no sense. Yeah, I did. Exhausting day yesterday, you know? I think back over yesterday's trip to the graveyard. Yeah, glad to hear you slept well, though. How'd you sleep? Well enough, although you were hogging the covers, but that's fine. This earns me a shove and a stuck-out tongue. I chuckle and Emmy giggles a little, and we fall quiet for a while. I soak up the feeling of how right it all seems. Waking up with Emmy by me, crammed into a bed made for one person. It's something I could get used to. Hey, Hisao. Huh? Thanks for sticking around. No problem. Saving me to walk back anyway, right? Oh, God, you are really shitty with your little jokes, Hisao. This draws another giggle, but then Emmy's expression turns serious again. No, really. I kept trying to push you away because I thought that was the right thing to do, and you stuck around through it all. I haven't made any of this easy for you, but you stuck it out anyway. So, really, I mean it. Thank you. She punctuates this by giving me a kiss, pulling back and looking at me with an expression of affection. I reach up and ruffle her hair, smiling all the while. I'm stupidly lucky, I think. I've come through everything after my heart attack, and somehow have found this girl is nothing short of a miracle. You're very welcome, Emmy Emberagaki. You're very welcome. I couldn't bear the thought of giving you up. I'll even continue to stick around, you know, if you want. I could just be like that sore thumb that never goes away. I can do this. I have nothing really else to do, and I could die any moment, so you'd give me the pleasure of doing so. I'd like that. Well, that settles it then. I don't know how long my heart will keep working, and I don't even really know what I'll do after this year's over, apart from going to university. As long as Emmy's around, I think I'll be okay. I've managed to help her, and she's managed to help me. If we keep doing that, we'll be okay, I think. So, Hisao. Huh? What do you want to do today? Well, I think we should run. I think we should run fast. Or we could have sex in the tool shed again. Whatever works for you. My God. That's the end. That's... Sorry, sometimes that happens, you know, at the end of 50 hours. Or 50 parts. Or whatever it may be. It was a long time coming. Over 55 parts, I believe, of Katawa Shoujo. Learning the truth behind Emmy, learning her feelings, her emotions, and ultimately, learning everything about her. I, for one, am glad we've gone through it together. And I want to thank you, Internet, for being there with me, because Well, you make everything so much better. Internet, you're like my Emmy. Although, you're like Emmy's slightly retarded cousin who sometimes just spews nonsense and verbal diarrhea, but sometimes you're like Emmy. And that's the times I like you, Internet. When you're like Emmy. Not when you're like a retarded cousin. Thanks, Internet. I love you guys. 4 Leaf Studios. Yeah. Fade to black.